This is unfair. Alan gets a girl. I've got Jack.
I'm going to ask Alan. Girl. Steady, steady. I'm going to ask Alan a very specific question now. Can you feel your sphincter relaxing? It's a perfectly innocent question.
I must say, I thought it was until you asked me.
Well, what you might have said is, which sphincter?
Oh, of course. Oh.
Because you may not know this, but you have many sphincters.
Oh, I know
Yes?
I know a thing or two about sphincters.
Tell me about sphincters.
I once had, this may not be an appropriate story.
Oh, certainly I would not.
I once had a bladder complaint. This is not STI, it was just I was getting up in the middle
Why are
of
you
the night to
looking at me
pee.
when you say that?
I thought you would understand. If you go to the doctor, sometimes they say, well, look, we're going to pop a camera in, we're going to have an explore. And it was in my bladder. There was a bit of an issue in my bladder. So they decided to get a camera and just pop it in my bladder. And obviously the easiest way to get in is through
the schlong.
Is through the schlong. And I imagined the camera would be like the width of a human hair. It was like a pen. And they fed it in, and it was about 10 years ago I had this.
Right,
and it was about 10 years ago, and it was a lovely nurse that was doing the procedure, and as she sort of fed it, she went, what do you do for a living? She was trying to start conversation at this awkward moment in a man's life. She went, what do you do for a living? I went, I'm a comedian. And she went, tell us a joke. And it is a matter of professional pride that I did.
Oh, well done. They offer you the DVD, though, at the end, don't they? If they've put a camera in you, you get given the DVD. But for what eventuality? My dad got one inside of his thing.
Yes.
But, like, when is that appropriate?
Doings.
At Christmas. Oh, let's not watch The Great Escape this year. Let's watch your dad's song.
The Great Escape is presumably when they pull the camera out. But the reason I mention that is because of there are two sphincters on the way in. And actually, the painful bit is when they have to go, we're just going to go through the sphincter. You might feel a little tightening.
Yeah.
You might feel a little something. Yes, and it's got a camera.
Wait, it looks like you're playing snooker or something. You're just going to hit the camera into
the point is, a sphincter is a ring of muscle that can contract and expand, and we lowered the lights so that your eye sphincters, your optic sphincters, will have dilated your eyes, Alan. So your sphincters will have relaxed.
all of my sphincters are clenched. Oh. There's no photograph in my inner this evening.
They can expand or contract.
We have
sight and delight.
Endoscope here that you... No, we don't worry, it's all right. It's fine, you really don't worry. So, do you think we've sucked enough nutrient out of sphincter for us to move on?
I did have a similar experience to Jimmy's in New Zealand. I was going for a ladies' examination, and so lying there with this doctor doing the examination, and she's sort of tinkering away, and then she goes, haven't I seen you on Thank God You're Here? Which is a TV show back home, and I went, yes, but why are you recognising me now?
I went to get something looked at, which was a sort of rash near the top of my leg. So it was a slight worry. It turns out it was nothing. But I didn't know that at the time, and I went in to have it examined. And he did the thing where he recognised me, but he thought I was George Lamb. He said, oh, you're that guy, George Lamb. And I was about to go and correct him, but then I thought, if that is an STI, I'd rather George Lamb had it than I did.
Anyway, so... You've got, the other thing is you even have within your capillary system, your blood system, each has a little sphincter, so the chances are we probably have thousands. Nobody quite knows how many sphincters we have. We have thousands and thousands of them. All right, well, now...